it's a great morning. Good morning, everybody. An excellent morning to you.
Time to wake up and smell the coffee. My name is Yomi Owope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyi. So remember that we're going to be with you here all the way from now till 8:45. If you need to be out of the house before then, you can always stream with us live. tvcontinental.tv is the website. And of course, on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Send in your comments.
Yes,
use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. You can also download our mobile app from the Google Play Store and the Apple iStore.
Yes,
See,
indeed.
while you were away,
got it.
While you were away, I was doing something. So now it's smooth,
Yeah.
nice and smooth. Yeah. So from anywhere in the world, you can watch us. You can watch Wake Up Nigeria from anywhere.
Yes,
in the world.
indeed. I actually got a message from someone in Japan that said he watched. I was like, what? But enough of that for now.
Was that in Tokyo or in Kyoto?
You know what? I'll
Tokyo.
find out.
Yeah.
But we have to tell you what's happening on the show today. We have singer-songwriter Oyelade Victor, a.k.a. Dami Isaac. He's going to be giving us some great music this morning. Of course, to kick us off.
Yeah. He's released 2 new songs that have been giving him some positive reviews, and we should see him before he performs today.
And for our relationship segment this week, we have Damilola Oluwatoyinbo. He's going to be joining us to talk about the art of the breakup.
And just in case you have a relationship you need to get out of, well, there are ways to go about it. Apparently, be a professional breakup artist.
Well, from last week, we started that topic. We'll continue later. Now, cancer is expensive and deadly.
Yeah, but there are meals that you can eat to help prevent cancer. And nutritionist Sandra Ajibade will be highlighting these foods for us today on the show.
Yes, indeed. We've already talked about pain in the shoulders. Now, this week, Dr. Lawson is going to be back. He'll be focusing on why we have pain in our knees. Ah, man, I've been there. I've been there.
Knee pain.
Goodness me.
All right, now the Met Gala is nothing if not a fashion outing where the biggest stars come out in their finest frocks. I like that word, frocks. Tenny Oluwo and MM will be joining us to talk about the outfits worn. And Tenny is the creative director of Style Territory.
I love that name, Style Territory. I love that. Great brand. Now, from there, we'll be taking you to another musical performance. This one will be coming from Moshood Adenekon, a.k.a. Shorty B. He'll be performing his single, Rambo. How far? How did you guys do without me yesterday? Did you all miss me? Did y'all miss me?
All I can say is I'm glad you're back on your post.
Are you serious? Maybe what happened now?
No, I'm just glad.
Okay, all right. Well,
glad.
I'm back. Thank you so much. And let me sing something here.
Did you get some rest yesterday?
I did, and I also went shopping.
That's not resting.
Yeah, well.
Okay, resting is relaxing for some people. Like, shopping is relaxing for some people.
It is actually.
MM is a shopaholic. She was saying that yesterday that none of her cards work. On purpose.
No.
On purpose,
that's not what
because
I
she doesn't want. Oh, okay.
No, what I
Sorry.
said was I don't have an online banking app deliberately because I'm an impulsive shopaholic.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
I buy. Like I buy a lot.
Yeah.
So there's even an account that I have no ATM card for it. I have no online banking whatever for it because I'd rather go. But thinking of going to the bank is enough struggle in my head. So the thought of it is like keeps me back. From not spending.
Babe, I'm going to send you a
That
few
makes
things.
sense.
Regular customer.
Mary, Mary, I had to, those things you sent me, I had to consciously in my head say no. Okay, this is too common, I'm not going to buy this one. I'd rather pick this one.
So what I do is I have a token, the whole bank token thing. Now this is for personal, not company accounts or anything, but personal accounts, so that I have to go and search for that token, or the token must be with me before I can actually
do something. Yeah, so you don't carry it around.
Yeah, I can't carry it around all the time. If it just happens to be with me, then fine. But at least that's my own check and balance.
So I don't even get tired of going to the bank because every time I go to the bank, the accountants or the accountant is asking, Just open an account. So just open,
just
have your
download the
ATM.
app,
Exactly.
yeah.
Or just download the app. I can do it for you, no. I'm like, no, don't worry, thank you.
You know, I actually find it admirable that you know your limits and you know how to walk around
it's
it.
a lot. It's discipline.
Some people will tell you that they have to shop, and that.
Yeah, it's discipline.
It's a good
It's not
thing. It's a good
easy.
thing.
Especially when you like the good things of life, and I'm very like this.
But, okay, so first thing I do, okay, if salary lands, first of all, do 70%, boom, shift it somewhere else.
Right.
70.
70%, shift
Okay.
it somewhere
Okay.
else. So 30% is like, okay, whatever needs to happen, nah. You do it.
When my
And
salary
then
comes
you
in,
have
I
to-
ship in 150%. to different things.
I shipped 70. That's
So
what
it's beyond the salary.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't shift anything.
No,
I
you
leave
just
it
leave
the way
it.
it is.
So
The
I
other
don't-
one, the other
150.
accounts, I leave them just the way it is.
Are you
So I know
serious?
that, okay, my salary account is maybe go to first. And then the other one is my plan B, C, D, E. So just leave it there and not touch it.
By the
and
time
act
you're
like it
getting
doesn't
to
exist.
D,
Well, I
you
guess
start
it'll be
telling
different
yourself.
for someone
Yeah.
that runs a company.
Oh yeah, so for me, it's a bit different. So I think about church and I think about a number of other things. But for me, one of the things that I feel people should know more about is the various options apart from savings. So why people spend their money, either impulsively or otherwise, is because of other investment options that they're not aware of. That once you put money in there, you won't be able to access it for a period of time. So whether it's treasury bills for 3 months
Yeah.
or bonds for a year, once you put 100,000 there or 50,000, then you can't touch it for that 1 year.
Okay.
So that way, you're forced to
Does
be
it
disciplined.
double?
It doesn't double.
So
6%.
Like,
treasury
no,
bills.
about
I would rather,
About 13% now.
I would rather be taking,
No, it
because
depends on how
I'm
much.
saving. I have a savings plan that works for me perfectly.
Mm.
You know, so I think I would rather work with that, just knowing than just go and put money there and it's not moving, it's not
It will
growing,
move.
it's just there.
13%
Why
is
do
a
I
lot.
feel like we've already begun the coffee juice?
Well,
Can we head over to Sarah now, who I know has a treasure chest under her bed?
grinding
do.
stone.
Very
A
correct.
grinding stone
Very
somewhere.
correct. You know that piggy bank kind of stuff.
Right.
I'll come to
All right, let's go
Sarah's
to the
house.
news update. Nigeria is seeking the support of the United Nations General Assembly in recharging the Lake Chad Basin. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, while hosting the President of the General Assembly in his office in Abuja, says the project will cost about $40 to $50 billion. We have details on this report.
Nigeria is recognized for the crucial role it has played over the years in the peacekeeping process for the United Nations. It is one reason why the President of the United Nations General Assembly in our West African tour has stopped by to see President Muhammadu Buhari. But of nagging concern to the Nigerian president is the condition of internally displaced persons in the country, especially about 1 million children who neither know their parents nor where they come from. He seeks the assistance of the international community, which he believes will be invaluable in reversing the devastation visited on Nigeria by the Boko Haram insurgency. He also speaks on how climate change has negatively affected about 30 million people dependent on the shrinking Lake Chad, with at least half of them being Nigerians. President Buhari insists that the international community needs to play a role, since recharging the lake through interbasin water transfer from the Congo River is beyond the financial power of the affected countries. Speaking later with State House correspondents, Ms. Espinosa Garces pledged to call the attention of the international community to the hurting effects of the Lake Chad problem and other issues raised by the Nigerian leader.
The Lake Chad is one of the living examples of a multi-dimensional crisis. It is, on one hand, a painful example of what climate change does to the livelihoods of people. And this, of course, combined with violent extremism, and we know the damaging presence of Boko Haram, and humanitarian emergencies because of internally displaced persons.
He also recognizes the pivotal role Nigeria is playing in keeping peace in the West African region, the Lake Chad Basin, and the Gulf of Guinea.
We praise the level of cooperation and collaboration of the countries that are part of Lake Chad Basin.
The United Nations Security Council reform is an ongoing process, which Ms. Espinosa Garces describes as the most complex, divisive and contentious negotiation process at the United Nations. It started 25 years ago and is yet to be resolved.
As we know, we need consensus to advance in a meaningful reform, to make sure that we agree on the fundamentals, to ensure that the process is inclusive and transparent, but the outcome of the reform is going to depend very much on the political will of member states themselves.
The tenure of the United Nations General Assembly President is nearing its end, and she is likely to be replaced by a Nigerian, Professor Tijani Muhammad Bande Tayamudu. TVC News, Abuja.
And the acting Inspector General of Police faced senators at Tuesday's plenary to tell them about the ongoing efforts to check the frightening trend of insecurity in the country. It came to answer questions from senators who are worried about the widespread killings, kidnappings and armed banditry in the country. The Senate urged the police chief to improve security around the country and in areas of intelligence and technology. A July 2018 report by Amnesty International reveals that insecurity is escalating in the northwest with daily killings and kidnappings by armed bandits leaving villagers in constant fear of attack. An International Labour Organization says more than 600 million new jobs need to be created by the year 2030 to keep pace with the growth of the global working age population. At a centenary celebration of the organization in Abuja, social partners urged member nations to strive towards improving the gains of the ILO. An end to unfair discrimination and success in making child labor illegal are among its gains. Social partners allude to its achievements, urging the organization not to relent until the gap between the rich and the poor is bridged. Nigeria made history as first African country to buy into the ILO vision in 1959, making it 60 years in Africa. The government says humane working conditions are crucial to attaining industrial peace. And the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last governorship election in Osun State has been granted bail in the sum of 2 million naira. Senator Ademola Adeleke was arraigned before a magistrate court on a 5-count charge bordering on alleged false statement and forgery. The senator representing the Osun West Senatorial District of Osun State pleaded not guilty to the 5-count charge of alleged false statement and certificate forgery brought against him by the Nigeria Police. Counsel to Mr. Adeleke told the court that it would be impracticable for the court to proceed with the arraignment on the grounds that the defendant is already standing trial on the same charge in 2 different high courts, and he subsequently moved an application for his bail. It further held that the court cannot stop the defendant from enjoying his fundamental rights as ordered by the High Court. The matter has been adjourned to the 24th of June for commencement of trial. And that's the news at this time on Wake Up Nigeria. Next is the weather forecast for today.
Have lots of different stories in the papers this morning.
Seems like they're all coming from different angles this morning.
Yeah.
If we start with the Punch newspaper, we have this headline: NFF President Pinnick, 4 others charged with $8,400, 4 billion naira fraud. It's a big screaming headline there. More on page 3. Meanwhile, Adeleke, arraigned for forgery, gets 2 million naira bail and permission for U.S. trip. It's another interesting read. We're not leaving Nigeria, says Wemco. And Kwankwaso PDP attacked Ganduje over planned new Emirates Sanusi AIDS probe. It also says here Nigeria needs leaders who shouldn't serve godfathers, according to Dogara. Liverpool stun Barcelona 4-0, reach UCL final. And finally, it says on insecurity in the north worse under Buhari, according to the Northern Elders. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
All right, let's start with the Vanguard over here. And insecurity, we're helpless, IGP cries out to Senate. Says shortage of funds, inadequate equipment, field personnel hurting police efforts. And Senate drills him for 2.5 hours, promises support. The Nigerian Air Force kills 20 bandits in Zamfara, destroys Kingpin's camp. Federal government inaugurates Committee on Internal Security, Community Policing. And 5 feared killed in fresh Kaduna, Zamfara attacks. Gunmen abduct missionary in Taraba. And SANs back federal government, insist governors lack power to share local government allocations. Kano Assembly approves life pension for Speaker, Deputy. And investors jittery over cost of Nigeria's rising debt, says report. And finally, alleged certificate forgery. Adeleke docked on fresh charges, gets 2 million naira bail. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
We also have the Guardian newspaper here this morning. It says protesters block Yemi Osinbajo's convoy, accuse army of land grab. Vice President promises to resolve conflict. We can prove ownership, says Buratai. Kano Assembly passes life pension bill for Speaker and Deputy. Beneficiaries to enjoy medical tourism, choice cars. House adopts report seeking partition of Kano Emirate. House of Representatives reconsiders electoral amendment bill. Pharmacists protest against missing PCN bill. PSN, ACPN seek Buhari's assent. Malaria may never be eliminated in Nigeria as efforts suffer setbacks. A special report there on page 36. And that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, let's check out the Daily Sun. NSITF board controversy. Ngige, NLC in messy fight. We'll block minister anywhere we see him. This is like calling you out. Come outside, let's fight, says Waba. I can't be intimidated, says Labour Minister. Atiku, PDP open case against APC at tribunal. Panel to also hear petitions of 3 other political parties. And insecurity and Lake Chad. Buhari seeks UN's help. Adeleke arraigned, granted bail. And also gets court's nod to travel abroad for medicals. And Senate grills IGP for 3 hours. Police to recruit 10,000. And angry villagers block Oshibaja's convoy over alleged land takeover by military. And we've got a photograph there on the cover of the Daily Sun with Senator Ademola Adeleke during his arraignment at the magistrate court in Pape. Over certificate forgery in Abuja yesterday. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
All right, thank you. We have the Nation newspaper up next. It says police shakeup coming to stem rising crime wave. IG to senators, DIGs, AIGs, CPs to be moved. 10,000 recruits on the way. Now, the information you got about giving 100 billion to herdsmen to stop killing is from social media. It's somebody's imagination. That's a quote that's right there in that story. Meanwhile, Buhari seeks help to end Boko Haram. Court dismisses AGF's objection to MTN's 3 billion naira suit. It also says on alleged forgery, court grants Adeleke 2 million naira bail, and Pinnick charged with $8,400 4 billion naira fraud. No plan to leave Nigeria, says Wemco. And Trump honors Woods with medal. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
All right, I think we have time for one more. Nigerian Tribune, insecurity, shortage of personnel hampering operations, says the IGP. And some other writers there that we've already mentioned in the other papers. An electoral amendment bill, reps approve substitution of deaf candidates in election within 7 days. People susceptible to asthma should avoid cockroaches and cats, say experts. And a presidential election tribunal begins sitting today. That's the story you'll find on page 9. Assembly adopts report to appoint 4 new emirs in Kano. And Adeleke in court granted 2 million naira bail. Nigeria's leadership model favors godfathers, not the people, says Dogara. And EFCC recovered over 1 trillion naira in 3 years, says the chairman Magu there. That's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune.
And I think we have we wrapped up all the papers? Or is there one more?
Yeah, we've got, I'm not sure we
right.
have time for, okay.
Yeah, we have to take a break now.
We do have Daily Trust and This Day left.
Yeah,
But yeah.
maybe for the next paper updates at the top of the hour, we will be taking those ones. But for now, we have to take a quick break and we'll be back. Now, whenever you hear that sound, you feel like, man, the traffic is going to be moving really, really fast, like zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, we're here to help you get to your destination as quickly as possible with the Lagos Traffic Report. Now, these are some key routes that we just decided to talk about in the morning so that you can be on your way as soon as possible. Please note that you can always be part of this segment by sending a message on Instagram, Facebook, or even Twitter. Let us know what your traffic situation is. Maybe take a traffic selfie and show us what you are seeing on the roads. You might just be helping someone out there. And I'm starting from Akunwojo Road. And if you're heading towards Ikeja area of Lagos, you have 2 or 3 different routes you could pass. Maximum time on the road from Akunwojo to Ikeja is about 38 minutes. Now, if you decide to pass through Mongoro, yeah, you're going to have a little longer time on the road. But if you decide to pass through Shasha Road, you're going to be maybe a 25-minute journey. Will take you all the way to Ikeja along. No tension right now until you get to Oba Akran Junction. Of course, a lot of the industries there getting started and the bus stops there are quite busy. Then, of course, when you get to Ikeja along, it slows down just a little. But for now, the roads are still quite free. If we move along here, while I hand it over to Yomi and the ladies, I'm not sure if they have any tweets right there while I get another route on standby.
Well, I see that Dokwemu on that bridge inward Bolade Oshodi, as at 20 minutes ago, was not so bad. It's actually, as at that time, it was beginning to build up, but it's not so bad. Ashade inward Sule on route Ile Zik was in good shape at that time, as well as National Inward Bolade Oshodi being good to go, and return trip back to Yanokwaja good to go. The situation right now might be a bit busier, but I'm just giving it as at 15, 20 minutes ago. I don't know if you have something more recent, Emin.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead,
You
Emin.
go ahead, because mine is a little
Okay, yours is a
earlier,
bit
yeah.
slow. So I've got some updates from LASMA. So there's a follow LASMA handle on Twitter, which is quite interesting. I mean, sometimes they really come through. So at past 6 this morning, which is about 20 minutes ago, LASMA is reporting that there's a broken down tanker after Ikotun before Ojodo, having mechanical problems and occupying a part of the road. So that is causing some traffic right now. It's a tanker, it's quite large. And so that's for Ikotun area. Then also, early this morning, about 30 minutes ago, there's a fallen truck at Ijora Inward Igomu Bridge this morning. So that's denying road access to other vehicles. So it's actually, that one is actually pretty bad because the backlog is going to be for a while because it's fallen. So they have to turn it back before they can pick it up and all of that. So that's in Ijora Inward Igomu Bridge. So that's a bit
Okay, so I'm going to
tight.
take it from there, Yomi.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much for that update. We have the route from Ojota bus stop all the way to Marina on the island. And as I'm looking at it right now, the major bus stops in between Ojota and Marina, I'm talking about Maryland. Maryland slows you down a bit, but it's actually a lot slower around the Antoni area, the Ilupeju bypass. All that area just seems to be hot red right now. If you decide to pass from Ojota and head towards Third Mainland to get to Marina, you're going to have an hour, 14 minutes. But if you stay on Western Avenue, Ikorodu Road, you'll have a 40-minute journey, which is interesting. But you'll slow down around Igbobi for quite a bit. You'll also slow down around Jibo also for about 5 to 10 minutes. So it does slow down quite a bit around Apapa Road and Igomu area. And I expect you spend about 15 minutes there. But I'm really, really glad to say 40 minutes from Ojota to Marina is actually quite, it's quite fast for this time of the day. Does anybody else have any more tweets over there?
Oh, well, that's just about it. I think most people today are just concentrated on reaching their destinations.
Yeah.
No one is sharing tweets this morning.
But yeah, so in the areas that we've mentioned that there are impediments, please try to use alternative routes so that you can get to your destination. Traffic is a little bit light, but it's still going to get heavier as we go along. So if you need to get anywhere very quickly, make sure you do that. Leave the house, well, within the next few minutes, right?
It's Wednesday, midweek, so traffic isn't
Mike
really
has been
so
saying
bad.
that, he's now an islander. I don't know why you'll be claiming islander now. With traffic
Titi,
that's
have you
longer
been to
than
where
Third
Mike
Mainland.
lives?
It's 1 hour, 15 minutes from Ajah to VI to Bonny Camp as of right now.
Wow.
All the major bus stops are on lockdown. Before Chevron, you're slow, like really, really slow. The 2 toll gates are really, really slow right now. The alternative routes are cool. The alternative routes are cool. But if you're heading towards phase 1, by the time you get to Tickle Bay, for those that know where Tickle Bay is, it's kind of on the right if you're coming from Ajah. And that particular area, for some reason, it's actually Tickle Bay, a place there in Lekki. For those that live in Lekki, they know what I'm talking about. Yes, Mr. Musa, I'm talking to you. But it's amazing because it frees up immediately
Tickle Bay,
after.
the children's
the children's
playground,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, I know I know my bus stops.
Oh, wow. Titi, really?
Okay, so second roundabout is a little slow as well. And then, of course, the Lekki toll gates, the good old Lekki toll gates is definitely going to slow you down. But all in all, an hour, 15, 20 minutes, you will be in Victoria Island if you're coming from Ajah.
Yeah, so Titi, I was telling you that Mike's house is surrounded by water. That's an island, so you need to put some respect on it.
All right, guys.
Okay,
So
we need to build a bridge
this
for
table
Mike.
that you're shaking, I am not on this table.
He never
I
said
am
I
not
live
on
on
this
Lagos
table.
Island. He
I
never
am
said
not
I
on that
live at
table,
Lekki or
guys.
Ajah. He said I live on an island. See?
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I will be joining you there for coffee in a bit.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, guys. I'm sorry I have to. Yes, trust me. My Twitter twips do not disappoint. So I want to ask you guys, what are questions that you should ask on a first date?
On a first date,
Blood group.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. Like, it's so important these days. The blood group is very important. Tell me your genotype. Tell me your blood group. Tell me if you are HIV positive. There's nothing shameful about it. There are medicines to control it.
it's a first date, Mary. I think
There's a bit too much for
it's a bit too much.
Unless you guys decide you want to be just friends. But if you know this is somebody you're really attracted to, ask questions.
date?
First
Yes.
date.
Mary, I
Titi,
can't
people
agree
go
with that.
all the way on first dates these days.
Okay. So what you're trying to say is if you're willing to get intimate with someone, it means you're willing to have answers to those questions.
Exactly.
I understand that, but I wouldn't think a first date. I think chat a little first.
No, of course you guys would have been chatting now, but you're talking about the first date. Date means you guys are sitting down to have a meal or a conversation face to face. Or watching a movie. So you need to ask.
Let me say this to all the single women out there.
Don't you dare.
If you ask any of those questions in the first date, here's what the guy will do. I'm coming.
If he says he's coming, then he doesn't have good
Blood
answers
group.
for you.
HIV
It's
status.
important. It's not more important. joke.
No.
These things are no longer a joke.
You want to
talk about our first dates with our
temperaments.
spouses, with our partners.
You want to check temperaments. You want to check
You can't
whether
check
you
it
guys are
on the
compatible.
I don't think you want to.
No, I'm not asking about temperament.
First date. Okay, so let me talk about my experience with my, partner when our first date together.
Your partner.
So because I am a karaoke person, I love karaoke. So I wanted us to go karaoke together, and I don't think I was all about genotype. What's your genotype?
That was the last thing on your mind.
I wasn't asking those questions.
What were you
I just wanted to have, as much as I
time
liked
with
him, I just wanted to have a good time.
Exactly.
Well, true.
So even though, unfortunately for me, I had a really bad experience because, so prior to our first date, on that day, I had a wedding ceremony.
Okay.
And then because I was trying to rush her, so I spent the night with a friend. And I was trying to, so he was waiting for me at the gate, and I was trying to rush in to get my stuff and go meet him. So I was wearing this really short dress. And then I was on heels. And and where she lives,
Should have
it's
seen
not a
MM as a
cemented
single
floor.
girl.
So I was running and then I fell.
Oh no!
So I
Okay, I
had
didn't see that
bruises all over.
What
Yeah.
kind of first date is that?
I'm telling you, it was really awkward. So we went to the pharmacy first. So he took me to the pharmacy, made sure all those wounds were treated.
Oh my God.
And then before we now went to, went for karaoke. So I wasn't all up. So I was just blown away by all the attention. I wasn't all about asking questions about genotype or
attention thing.
whether you like Game of Thrones or Z-World.
Oh, wow.
I like Z-World.
You do?
Yes,
don't.
I
like
like
Z-World.
You've just
I have a problem.
You've
with
just made a lot of
Freddie
guys change the
and Pragya's story.
I think
irritating
I said
and
Titi.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that was your first date, but I remember that you said it was raining.
Yes,
And
so-
Uncle carried you on his back
He did. Okay, calm down. Everybody calm down.
through the flood.
Through the flood. Okay,
So when he put her down, she just looked into his eyes and said, "This is my husband for life."
Okay, so for those that don't understand what he's talking about, we're working on the red carpet.
Okay.
At a club. Yes, I always say it. I met my husband at the club.
But you were working.
But we were working.
Yeah.
So it was on the red carpet, and then I had these amazing shoes on. Man, my baddest shoes, suede heels, and then it's raining, and it's in VI, it's flooding. How am I going to get out of here? There's no way. I can't go barefoot. And then suddenly he just lifts me up and carries me across the water. He forgot about his own shoes, forgot about his own feet, in the dark. So he couldn't even see where he was going. So yeah, so that was.
You guys end up in a pit.
If we had ended up in the gutter, this story would have ended.
You
very
guys have been
differently.
going, I just couldn't
Yeah, but
Wow,
you
Mary
know-
just had to ruin it though.
Yeah,
She just had to put a damper on it, like,
But really, when you think about it, those little affectionate things,
yeah,
you know,
they actually go a long
Like
way.
you've talked about yours,
Yeah.
you weren't think about any questions.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe-
wasn't. I just wanted to have it, and
just
then I was
suggested,
mostly
yeah.
I
flirty.
didn't think of any question
because
at
I was
that
wearing a
point.
really
See,
short dress.
I am a very practical person. And I grew up in the middle of medical practitioners. See, it's the truth. See, I've been at my dad's place of work back then when he was still working, before he retired. And the healthy faces you see coming for HIV drugs,
Wow.
you'll be scared.
Okay.
Like they look healthier than all of us here. So
guess
it's for me, it's very important for me to, and because of the fact that I also grew up amongst medical practitioners, few things faze me, and I don't see many things as a big deal.
Yeah, but
That's it.
First
That's why
date,
I said it can be
first
fixed.
date,
Titi,
maybe
I don't
maybe
waste time.
second. Maybe
I'm not that kind
second.
of girl to
I would
chase
suggest,
me.
I think
No.
one of the
If I
critical
like you-
things you should ask on the first date, just to be sure that you're married, you're dating
A married
or
person.
a single person, that you are you are dating, you are meeting with a
Exactly.
single. Are you single?
Exactly.
That's the
Some
question.
You
people
need to
never give me
please
an answer.
cross-check the
Yeah.
fingers, the
What
left
exactly
hand.
are you cross-checking?
You need to check because
there's
the
no
wet-
ring.
No, if there's no ring, there will
the
definitely
tan
be
line.
exactly. There'll be a
Yeah,
tan
okay,
line,
okay.
so
Yeah.
you need to be sure that.
Not everybody has a tan line.
As in,
Do you have a
Not
tan
everyone has a
line?
tan
I
line.
don't have
Not
a tan
everybody.
You don't have a
I
tan
don't have
line?
a tan line
Wow.
either.
Because-
I don't even
yeah.
wear it.
Oh wow.
My ring is loose.
You guys,
so
I'm afraid of you
Okay.
people. Oh.
There are people who wear it and do
Let's
crazy
go,
things. So
y'all.
what's
Let's
the
go.
point?
My ring never
We have-
comes off, but I don't have a tan line.
Okay.
Okay.
We have to take a quick break there. Please tell us your first date experiences. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria, and we'll continue this conversation there.
My name is Aremu Anoluwapo. I'm a student of the Department of Linguistics, African and Asian Studies, University of Lagos. Yoruba Lingo is a word cross board game built with the Yoruba language. So it is the first African indigenous word cross board game. So it was built to facilitate the spirit of learning and fun. Building Yoruba Lingo took about 14 months. Then within those 14 months, we built the tiles, the board, and other things that it's required for the game to be properly made. First, I was using papers to design the tiles. So I would use my biro to write letters and figures. Then I'll cut it to the sizes that I think it's okay. So after doing that, then I moved ahead to build the board with cardboard. So I use blue, black, and red pen to draw the lines. So we have about 21 by 21 cubes. So the total is about 400 and something cubes on the board. I also discovered that students they prefer speaking English compared to our native African languages. So I just thought bringing up an idea like this might give them zeal to learn the Yoruba language. So it's about putting what they might have interest in. You know, if you have interest in something, it would prompt you to, go deep into what the thing is about. The numbers of people that can play the Yoruba Lingo game ranges from at least 2 to 5. So it's just about pulling letters from the sack, then you put it on your rack, or a kind of small plastic that we would give in the game. Then you arrange it, then you use those alphabets to form words, then you place it on the tiles like a normal word cross game. You can, the words that you can find on the Yoruba Lingo game is vast. You can find any Yoruba language word on it. So you can't really say the amount of words in a particular language. It is not possible. So there are numerous words that can be played. Once it is valid, it is playable. On the Yoruba Lingo board, we had Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ lẹ́tà, Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀, Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ lẹ́tà lẹ́ẹ̀mejì, Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ lẹ́tà lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta, Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì, Ìsọdọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta. Those ones are to give points to the alphabets with figures on the tiles that you are dropping on those boards, just like the normal word cross board games that we have all over the world. What we hope to get, what I hope rather to get from Yoruba Lingo is that I'm hoping to reduce the negative attitude of people towards African languages in general and to the Yoruba language in particular. Then also to create a kind of avenue to ease the acquisition of second language learners of the language. Then to also present African languages on a better platform, because if we are having innovative ideas like this, African native speakers would be encouraged. I feel they will be encouraged to make use of their languages.
Wow, interesting stuff happening here in Nigeria. It's Always good to see innovative stuff happening. All right, moving on to our first performance this morning is Dami Isaac. He's a singer-songwriter whose past records and his newly released mixtape of Afro Tales have been positive reviews. His tune can be described as African retro vibes, Afro hip-hop and pop. Wow, interesting stuff. And this morning you're going to be performing to Chameleon.
Yeah.
All right. Right now you're not signed to a record label. How is it being as a struggling artist in Nigeria?
Well, any good thing must start with struggles and trying to make it work and all that. But it's been beautiful because the stories are adding up and it's beginning to make sense.
Well, you've been doing this for 8 years. It's not easy.
It's not.
Like, I'm really wondering what's keeping you going. Like, what's that driving force that keeps you going, that keeps you pushing?
Number one, the dream.
Okay.
And the fact that if people keep saying you're good at something, you're great at it, you deserve to be up there, then it gets to a point where you start believing so much in yourself that, okay, you visualize all those things that you are not just dreaming about, but they are now looking like it.
Fantastic. I know that you said that you've been approached by a few record labels, but what's that dream record label that you'd like to be signed on to?
In Nigeria or outside Nigeria?
Well, let's start with Nigeria. Let's start with Nigeria.
Well, I think Extreme would be a good place. Extreme.
Why Extreme music?
They know how to nurture talents.
Okay.
And any of the big labels that have really popping artists.
Anyway, Extreme music is quite good. I mean, it actually understands. I mean, they have artists who have, who sing your same genre of music.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Simi, you have Praise,
which is a host of others.
Yeah, and a host of others, which is really nice.
Thank you.
Great stuff. And so let's talk about your song, which you're about to, sing in a bit, perform to in a bit. Chameleon.
Yeah.
What inspired the song Chameleon? Because I listened to the lyrics. It's pretty deep.
Well,
were you speaking to someone? Did that come from a deep place?
Oh, I think Chameleon is a bit personal. The stories is from my experience as quite a while ago, and I decided to put in the melodies.
So the idea is you tell me the gist.
Oh.
What's the gist?
Well, there was this girl that I liked a lot, but and things didn't work out the way I really wanted it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like the first proper relationship I was going to. So it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to be, but I'm good now.
Great. So I'm just going to let everyone actually feel the rhythm to the song Chameleon, which you're about to perform soon a bit. Right. Take it away. Yes, we're still here. It's Wake Up Nigeria, y'all.
I didn't feel like waking up this morning.
Why?
Yeah, I already woken up. My alarm had already,
done the job.
So what I try to do in the middle of the week when it's a bit tight is, if I don't feel like waking up, I put the phone very far away from me. So when the alarm goes off,
you don't hear it.
No, I hear it. So I have to get up and walk to where the alarm is. So I don't snooze it by the bed.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get that.
That works. So that's a tip for someone.
I have an alarm that tells me what the time is. So it's 4 o'clock. It's like, Madam, get up. That's how it feels. But I know that we do this for a reason. It's because of you, and hopefully all we've put together today, you're going to love every minute of it.
Yes, indeed. It's the second hour of the show, and my name is Yomi Obe.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. We're streaming live, tvcontinental.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Please stay live with us, sending your comments across all the social media platforms with that hashtag.
Yeah, and did you know that our app is available for download? Both on the Android and iOS stores. See how I'm flowing out? You can't catch me now, man.
No, you can't. But we have a chef that's going to be taking over the kitchen very, very soon.
Chef Naila.
Yes, so MM's going to be right there with Chef Naila. That's going to be fun. That's going to be great. We're going to be cooking something amazing today.
Yeah, so to talk about the art of breaking up with someone, I didn't know it was an art.
It's a skill, it's a special skill.
It's a skill.
Some people know how to do it and some people don't.
I thought that was a skill for players.
Not necessarily.
Anyway, so Dami Oluwatoyinbo is going to be joining us to talk about how to break up with someone when you're not doing a game.
Yeah, I'm not prepared for this. This is too toxic for me. We also have nutritionist Susan Ajibari. She's going to be talking about cancer-preventing foods or foods that have been said to reduce the chances of getting cancer.
Now, the Met Gala saw all the finest and biggest stars in Hollywood come out in their finest. And will be talking about some of those fashion statements with Tenny Oluwo, who is the creative director of Style Territory.
Style Territory. Some of those Met Gala outfits, though.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have a doctor in the house. Dr. Lawson will be here. And Dr. Lawson is going to be talking about why we have pain in our knees. Yes, Doc, I need that question answered, man. As in, like right now, I feel like I'm getting old. Yeah, a lot of people have joint pain. He's going to be talking to us about how we can alleviate that pain. But also joining us for a musical performance.
That's Moshood, aka Shorty B. He's going to be performing his first official single, Rambo.
Now, we have to talk about this art of breaking up thing. So
I think we talked about it yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No,
we talked about it, remember? With Halima.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And they were saying that it's a countdown. You have to count down to the breakup.
Really?
So day 1, this is what you should do. Day 2.
No,
Day 3.
you guys.
Count.
Well, we'll hear from an expert. But the thing is, I'm thinking about the reasons for breaking up.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't think that, breaking up is something they should ever plan to do. But then you also have some relationships that are just not meant to be. For instance, maybe someone is about to travel across the ocean. They want to go for masters.
Yeah.
And you've not even put any cards on the table. Nobody has met anybody's parents.
So yeah,
you're not really. So
some
really,
people meet parents and still don't get married.
So in the end, so that whole long distance thing, is that a good reason to break up?
No, I think that okay, so this is not to answer your question, but I think one of the questions that should be asked when you're sure that you're in a relationship, when you are sure that you're in a relationship, is what are the deal breakers for you and your partner? So what are my these are my deal breakers. What are your deal breakers? So that both of you understand each other on that level before you decide to, so that you know what your boundaries are. You know that, okay, he doesn't like this.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not do it.
So there's
something I've actually learned about life. From my personal experience, what you call deal breakers at the beginning might actually turn out to be something that could be fixed. Sometimes when you start with someone, they're coming from a different background. You're coming from a different background. Now, they have a certain mindset. You have a certain mindset. At some point, it could be like years or months.
Yeah.
That other person unconsciously starts accepting you the way you are. And you also start accepting some things that ordinarily, as I'd say a year or two ago, you'd be like, me,
never.
I can't take this rubbish, I can't take this. So sometimes relationships cannot be defined. That's the way I always say it. And that's why I always steer clear of relationship issues or questions, because you would never know everything.
But that issue of, okay, for instance, deal breakers in a sense kind of give you a perspective. Like
exactly.
a sort
they
of
guide you about this person.
Yes,
it's more
but
like a
it
guide.
shouldn't be set in stone if you really want to put your heart out there.
Yes.
But not many people are ready to put their heart out there, man. So you are going to Canada.
Too many times.
Are you coming back for me from the Canada?
When
are you coming back?
When you're talking about when you're talking about relationships in the first place, I think one of the things that lots of people don't ask is, what's the purpose? What's the goal? Like, why am I in this? So a lot of people go into relationships because they're lonely and things like that.
The woman that asks herself that question in most cases, not the guy.
If you go in for the wrong reason, what then happens is, if you then, whatever you find in the relationship, that's when you're now be trying to fix things and fix yourself or fix the other person or change the other person.
So the guy goes in because he likes the way her her body looks or the way she thinks.
And she's
or the way
busy
she
asking
talks.
herself, what's the purpose of this relationship?
So I like how his arms are, bursting out of
Well-toned.
his shirt. I like the way his voice sounds.
Yeah. So if you rush in, you rush out.
I think it has to do with
That's how
our
it is.
generation. I dare say our generation, because before there was no such thing as you being in a relationship for being in a relationship case. Until date, I still don't believe in you going into a relationship just because.
Okay.
I believe you should go into a relationship because you have a purpose.
Yeah.
Date to marry, not date to go and eat fried rice and chicken.
Wow.
Or have shawarma for free.
Dates to marry.
All right, welcome to the kitchen. Yes, exercise routines are over, guys. So now it's time for some good food. Yes, and making her debut on the show this morning is Chef Nyla. Reminds me of Lion King.
Well, close enough.
Nyla.
Yes.
All right, but I actually love your name. And this morning, guys, she is making pancakes with herbed scrambled eggs and sausages. Yes, got that right. So just in case you're wondering what herbed scrambled eggs actually mean, we'll just let you get to it, Nyla.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the pancake batter mix.
okay.
So we have flour, eggs, sugar, a bit of flavoring, which is vanilla and nutmegs, and then milk.
Okay.
And
That's
sugar.
for our
Pancakes, right?
pancakes.
And for the herbs.
And you said buttermilk pancake.
Yes.
Why is it? What makes it buttermilk?
So
What's it different from the other regular pancakes that we just have? What's the difference?
okay, so I think in Nigeria we have the flat ones that are crepes that we normally call pancakes. You know, the ones that
Yeah, the
that,
really thin ones.
yeah. So those are
Yeah.
crepes, not really pancakes.
Yeah.
So the reason why is because we're going to actually make buttermilk first.
Okay.
And
So you'll take us through the process
Yes,
later
I will.
on? Yeah, so but let's just move ahead along with
Right.
the
So
other
the
thing.
next thing is the herb scrambled eggs, which I have a herb mix here, which is chives,
chives.
parsley.
That's not a herb we hear every day.
No, it's not, but it's very common here. So we have chives, we have parsley, we have garlic, we have a bit of dill in it.
Did you make this yourself?
No, I actually have a friend who does this, so she just sells it. And then,
okay,
yes,
okay.
but yeah, so they're dried. So what we're going to do is actually infuse it. So when we crack our eggs, we're going to leave them there to bloom. So that's rehydrate them so that you get the flavors that are in there.
Nice. Okay.
So-
So I like where this is going this morning. I mean, I love the word bloom. I haven't heard that word.
It's
in
like
a-
your
in a
tea,
while.
you know, when you
Yeah, I
steep
know. Like
it,
what you
right?
say,
Yeah. So
great.
yeah, and then we have our sausages, which we're just going to pan sear really on light heat, and then that's it, and we'll be having breakfast.
Yeah. So this is more like an English breakfast.
No, it's more of an American breakfast, not English breakfast.
American English. Oh, same.
No, UK American. But yeah, this is, for me, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. So I'm already
Yeah.
looking at Saturday and I'm thinking to myself, what could
Wow.
I possibly do on Saturday
Wow,
morning?
you're one of those people that you love your weekends.
Oh,
Can't
very
live
much
with
so.
it.
I can't, I really
All
can't.
right, so let's get right to our pancakes,
Yes.
which is first. I mean, pancakes always take a lot of time.
Not really. Well, this is an easy method because so we already have our stuff pre-measured. So what we're just going to do is mix it, and because we are actually making the buttermilk, we're going to just let it sit for a bit while the show continues.
Great. So let's start with our buttermilk.
So with the buttermilk, we're going to start with 1 egg.
Okay. You know, we're so used to cracking our eggs with the fork.
Right. So actually, you're not supposed to do that. If you're going to crack an egg, you should crack it on a flat surface.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
I never tried that before.
Go ahead.
No,
Try.
I'm worried.
It's so that it gives you the flat surface actually in here. That will be more. Yeah,
okay.
you're right. See?
I'm so
There. Well, it's first time, that's why.
first time, yeah. Because I mean, like, there's still an eggshell.
Yeah, so
or
you see,
two
I
in
don't
there,
have
so-
one in
yeah,
there.
but you don't. Yeah, that's because you're like a professional.
So, yeah.
I'm just trying this out for the first time.
So we'll take that out.
Okay.
There. We have it
So
on the
we're
corner,
okay.
right there.
I'm just gonna take. Okay, great.
Then,
So we're working with 2 eggs.
just
right?
one egg, just
One
one
egg,
egg, because
okay.
we only have 2 cups of flour here, so
okay.
that it's not too much.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add our milk.
So evaporated milk,
Yeah, you can. I mean, some fit farm people will choose to use something else, but
skimmed milk.
I prefer to go the whole 9 row.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
So if we're gonna do this,
Oh, that's
do
a lot
this.
of milk. You don't even need water.
No, I'm not adding water. So milk
Okay.
is your liquid, it's your
Okay,
flavor, it's
okay.
your Fantastic for kids, extra nutrients.
Oh, yeah,
Another way to
let's talk
sneak
about
it.
the kids.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic way to actually sneak in the things that they really won't eat, which is, I don't like, my son won't eat boiled eggs.
Okay.
So you have eggs here. He'll eat fried eggs, but not boiled or anything else. So,
right.
so
Okay.
there's that, and then we have baking soda
Okay.
and baking powder.
So
And
we're
then
going to add a pinch of baking soda, a pinch of baking powder,
and
a
salt.
pinch of salt.
Yes, and
Okay.
then we're gonna add sugar.
Sugar, okay. And then mix all of that in and
Just let it sit, right?
For how long?
However long you take to prep whatever else you're doing. So do you want to help me continue learning to crack
so
the eggs
I'm
in
going
here?
to, well, Nyla's putting me through some work this morning, which of course I'm very excited about.
Honorable
cracking
assistant.
eggs, yeah, on a flat surface. All right, guys, just in case you're just joining us, we are making pancakes and herb scrambled eggs with sausages, guys. Stay tuned for more on Wake Up 90. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. Now, are you exhausted in your relationship and you would like to maybe move on? Now, apparently, there is an art to breakups, and Dami Oluwatoyinbo is going to be talking about this particular topic. Now, he's a writer and coach, and it's always great having him in the studio. So, the art of the breakup.
Yes.
Last week, we started with the topic why people break up.
Yeah, why you should.
Why you should, because in some cases we've heard of toxic relationships. Relationships that are not
Absolutely.
going anywhere, you know. But there's a special craft to this. Please explain.
So typically we have makeup artists, so they want to raise
Yeah.
like breakup artists.
Makeup artists, like, so they make up with you, like.
No, I was just playing off, the whole cosmetic thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so there is a way to do it when you know you have to do it. Of course, we said last week that once you see that there's no future for you guys, as in the man and the woman, the boy and the girl, whatever the construct of the relationship is, it's time for you to release the person to move on to their destiny, right?
Yeah.
So, but the question is, how should you do it? And to answer that, let's start with how you shouldn't do it.
Okay.
So I think that the first thing is, don't break up over the phone.
Don't break up over the phone.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
It's quite disrespectful for all it's worth. You've had some kind of experiences, you've had some kind of memories, you've built something together over the last couple of weeks, hopefully months, or
Okay.
even years, right? And so you want to honor the person so that they can maintain their dignity.
Okay.
And a lot of people break up over the phone because they're scared, they're insecure,
It's
they're
fear.
uncertain. Yeah, the fear. But you have to go beyond that so that you respect the person and then you can actually move on. Number two, don't break up in public.
Don't break up in public.
Yeah, like don't go to a shoddy or somewhere.
And say, you know what? I'm taking this bus. You take that one.
Exactly, like I'm done. Don't do that. In as much as you don't want to break up in intimate spaces, like bedrooms or like a social lounge where everything is cozy. Yeah. Why don't you want to do that? Because some people break up.
Yeah.
Then they have makeup sex.
Okay. So they've not exactly broken up
They've
at that
not broken
point.
up. They had like halftime.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. And so you want that edge of finality that,
Okay.
this is dawn. So everybody gets a clear picture of what's going on.
All right.
So don't do that. Number three is don't be breaking up.
Okay, so like breaking up in continuous tense. Like,
yes. You keep doing, in other words, you're saying, I'm going to break up with you, or you give a body language that says, I'm done today, and then tomorrow you're like, so you're being uncertain.
Okay.
And when you do that, you're going to create unnecessary tension in the relationship such that when you're actually really done with it, the person doesn't take you serious anymore.
Oh, wow.
So that's how come you have some people in new relationships, if you will, and then their ex
it's still
very involved.
Wow.
It's still a reference point because they did not do it properly.
Okay.
So what are 3 or 4 things, let's say 3, 4 things that we can talk about in terms of breaking? Number one, be very clear of the why.
the why.
Yes.
So it's not the whole, it's not you, it's me. No.
You have to take responsibility. You're initiating that breakup. Then what are the reasons? Okay, maybe health challenges, financial challenges, or you've got body odor.
Okay.
Your mouth
I'm sorry.
produce all kinds of
Yeah, wow.
things.
These are not very good reasons
not
to
very
break
good
up.
reasons. I'm just making, broadening the possibilities behind a breakup.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always domestic violence and sexual violence and all of that, but you be very clear, because some of the people might be like, you know what, everybody is going through that, just endure it. But you know it's not good for you.
Okay.
It's not healthy for you on the long term. So know what your reasons are and be able to articulate it.
Okay.
You know, so there's someone says, okay, why did you guys break up? Well, an angel appeared to me or something. No,
there
it needs
has to be a
very
clear reason.
clear.
Okay.
Number two is you need to have that communicated to the person in person. So that people will break up through their, you know, friends.
Oh, wow.
You know, the
Please help
person
me
that
tell her. I'm not talking to her anymore.
It's just not
Wow.
going to work.
Okay.
Yeah. And then number three is break up. Pick up your things. If you have maybe items in the person's office, clothes in the person's house, move everything out. What you're saying is, I'm closing this door. I have no plans of walking back into this door. It's not going to become a trap. It's actually a pathway to a brighter future.
Okay, so moving all these things out, why is that significant really? Like, so you did say, so you're not walking back, but those are just physical things. Can't you just leave them and just bounce?
Well, the more items you have, whether they're physical, whether they're emotional, whether they are spiritual, that you have in somebody else's space, the stronger the bond will
Continues.
be. Yeah, and so, I mean, the easiest thing to move out are the physical things. The tougher things are, you know, sentiments, memories, emotions, relationships, plans, networks, and all of that.
All right, so it's interesting you should mention networks, like social networks, for instance. There's so many, you know, people that are connected online for so many different reasons. It's not as easy to break up anymore.
Well, but it's something that has to be done. And so one of the ways you can do it, not everybody can handle the process of still being friends online with the person, because what happens then is you want to know who's he dating, you know, where did he go last week? Okay, that deal we were working on 6 months ago, has it finally clicked?
Wow. Okay.
You know, the whole acrimony thing. And then it's increasing your blood pressure and all of that. You don't need that in your life.
Yeah.
So can you unfollow the person? Can you block the person? Just cut off access?
Maybe delete the person's phone number?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, but some people, they already have it in their
head,
their
yeah,
heads.
sure.
Yeah, but as much as you can, whatever it is you can do to cut those ties, it will really help you in the process of healing.
Okay.
And that's where you want to get to. You want to be a whole person, not a fragmented soul.
So I want to reiterate that we're talking about relationships now and not marriages.
Yes.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Yes.
But then relationships get as they be. There are some that are like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and there's some that go on for 2-3 years. Now, there has to be a difference in the style of breaking up for short-term and long-term relationships.
Absolutely. So just the same way the makeup artist doesn't wear the same makeup for every kind of face.
Okay.
The face determines what the, I don't know, what do you guys call it? Is it the bronzer, the contours, and all of those kind of things?
Okay.
Yeah. So similarly, the relationship, the longevity of it, the direction of it, the nature of it will inform how you should break up. Of course, you don't have to go extreme, like bring all your friends, say, we want to break up with you.
Okay.
But the longer the relationship has been, right, the more sensitive, diplomatic, tactful, but also very clear you need to be. And that is because, again, like I mentioned earlier, you want to respect and honor what you share together, and you want to be able to move on without damaging anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, next week, we'll probably talk about how the tears, the crying, and all that drama must have taken a toll.
Moving on.
And moving on from it. But P-Dams, it's always great having you. Sorry, I called you P-Dams.
It's an honor.
It's Dami, Ask Dami on Instagram, hashtag Ask Dami. We would love to hear your thoughts on the process of breaking up. Please tweet to us and use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Now, we have to move to the garden now. Mary is with our nutritionist for the day, Susan Ajibade, in the garden.
Oh, God. All right, it's time for us to discuss how to stay cancer-free. And when we are in the garden talking about nutrition, we have Susan Ajibade of Splash Greens right here with me. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Mary. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to hit the nail on the head because this is a very serious issue.
Yeah, very crucial.
Eating
issue.
to prevent cancer.
Yeah.
How do we go about it?
Everybody knows what cancer is.
Yeah.
It's a disease that develops in the cell, and it begins to spread, and it could lead to death. And there are different types of cancer, from leukemia to prostate cancer, breast cancer, all of that. colon cancer and all of that. But bottom line is, we all know, we've heard about this, things that you shouldn't do that causes cancer, but we kept on repeating those stuff. So there are certain fruits that you can eat to prevent cancer. Everybody,
fruits you can eat.
Fruits and foods that you can eat that'll help you prevent cancer.
For once, I regret not having a pen and piece of paper here, but that's fine. Let's start.
This saying is popular that prevention is better than cure.
Than cure, of course.
So the cure of cancer, some people are gradually getting cure, quote and unquote, but then it is very, very safe to prevent cancer happening to you. And there are lots of foods that you can eat, and I'll start from the vegetable broccoli.
Broccoli prevents cancer?
Yes, of course it does. It contains sulforaphane, that helps you to prevent cancer, and most especially breast cancer in women, and as well prostate cancer in men. By the way, I lost my father last year to prostate cancer. It was very, very painful. And I'm really going to talk more about that prostate cancer, things you can eat as a man. Every man has that element of, it's that disease that's
let's talk about it. The prostate cancer, what are the things to avoid? You said broccoli.
No, to eat, to prevent that. And you can also take a lot of tomatoes.
Broccoli and tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes, carrots. Carrots is a good one as well. Then there's this particular walnuts. I don't know.
Walnuts,
walnuts is
locally called asala.
Yeah, asala, yes. Yeah. It's very, very good to prevent prostate cancer.
Wow.
And generally, for women as well, there's
this
thing
home,
called...
I'm going to make sure I get some for my dad.
You should do that, because it has to do with age too. Yeah. Because you don't have prostate cancer at early stage, God forbid, but then it starts to come out more as you age. So you're advised to, take fruits and foods that could help you prevent that. Walnut is very, very effective. People should, I think it's seasonal, I'm not too sure, but walnut is a very good one.
So walnuts, carrots, broccoli, and tomatoes.
They're very, very good fruits and foods to eat to protect prostate cancer. Yes, and I'm also going to talk about, for women, breast cancer. There's this seed, it's called the flaxseed.
Flaxseed,
yes. I know it's not so popular, and some people would ask you, all of these things, what are their local names? I do not know, but I know they do exist, and it's very good. And this seed is said to have the potential to cure cancer totally.
Wow,
yes.
Flaxseed. Are you serious?
It's very high and healthy in antioxidant. I just got to know about it, that it has the ability to take off cancer totally. You might not even smell cancer as a woman as breast cancer if you inculcate the eating of flaxseed into your daily meal.
Include it in your diet?
Yes, you could sprinkle it on your salad. You could add it into your smoothies,
because it looks a lot like
drinks.
Sesame seed.
Yeah, like sesame seed. Yes, you could turn it into powder and do all of that.
So as powder form, you can put it in your meals,
your meals, your drinks, and all of
that.
You
flaxseed.
Yes, flaxseed. It's
very. What else can we make use of?
It's very potent. Yes.
So
broccoli too also works for women.
Okay.
For women. Then beans. We spoke about beans last year. Last week
about the way it bloats the tummy.
And I said that it depends on your body system. Yeah. But then this time around, beans can actually help you prevent cancer.
Ladies, are you hearing that? Like, eating beans,
of course,
can help you prevent breast cancer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is said, yes, you can eat beans and it helps you prevent breast cancer. And there's this spice, garlic.
Garlic helps prevent
garlic.
cancer.
And personally, I'm speaking to myself as well. I am no friend of garlic, because maybe I could take garlic in my foods,
maybe grind it in your
grind
pepper,
it in my pepper when I'm making a stew or sauce. But then taking garlic, literally, it makes me want to puke.
Okay, so today we've talked about prostate and breast. I feel like we should talk about others much later.
Much later,
yes. I think this would just have to continue as a series, because I want to know what foods I can eat to prevent cancer.
We could do a lot of series
about that.
Thank
you so much, Susan.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much.
So you've learned something to do, things to eat to prevent cancer, and we'll definitely have more for you next week. Stay with us to still Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria. And of course, with me here in the kitchen this morning making her debut is Chef Nyla. Yes, yes, yes. I like to pronounce your name. It's really nice. Sounds really nice.
Sounds exotic.
Yeah, this morning we are making buttermilk pancakes with herbed scrambled eggs and sausages. Ah, herbed. I can't get used to that.
Right.
Right. On your screen are the ingredients, but we'll run through them because we're like halfway gone, right?
Yeah, almost there. So we already combined all the ingredients for
So
the
let's
pancakes.
talk about the ingredients in here.
So there's flour, there's milk, eggs, a bit of vegetable oil, baking soda, baking powder, seasonings, sugar and salt.
Okay, what seasonings? Let's be...
Nutmeg and vanilla.
Oh, see, because people need to know before they think it is a seasoning.
No. Okay, God, no. Yeah, so no. So it's just simple baking seasonings. You have vanilla, you have nutmeg. So whatever seasonings actually flavorings, let's put it that way.
Flavorings, a better way.
Yeah, so whatever flavorings that you're comfortable with, so you can play with them. You can add banana, you can add butterscotch.
Nice.
So,
bananas. I've worked with bananas.
Exactly. So
okay, so let's talk about the baking powder and the baking soda, which you added in, so people have an idea of the measurements.
So it's a teaspoon to 2 cups.
Say that again.
A teaspoon to 2 cups of flour.
Okay.
So
in just a pinch.
No, actually measuring teaspoons.
Yeah, not all of us actually have teaspoons.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So let's say your teaspoon at home. Let's use the tip.
Okay, so at least, well, just add a little bit, not so much.
Right.
Yes.
If not, you're going to taste it. It'll become bitter.
Oh.
Yeah, so it'll be too much.
Okay, so let's start.
Okay, so all we're just going to do now is just whisk it together.
Okay.
Since we already have all the ingredients.
So I'm guessing the vegetable oil in here actually makes the pancakes really fluffy.
It actually helps so that it doesn't stick to the pan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So aren't you going to use vegetable oil on the
just
pan?
a little, just a tiny bit, because we're working with a non-stick pan as well, so it just works together.
Great, yeah.
So the consistency you're looking for is almost like a cake batter.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you have here.
So we're making pancakes this morning, not crepes, people.
No, please. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So this is what we're looking for right here. And as you work with it, if you feel like it's too thick, you can add more milk. Okay. So it's depending on what your consistency is. Okay. So I think for us, we're good for now.
Yeah.
So if it has lumps like this, which is your flour, you can leave it. It's fine. It'll cook through.
It cooks, okay.
Right. So we're just going to set this down here for now and just let it.
That's good to go.
That's good to go. So that's it. That's why I said it's an easy Saturday breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. So we're going to move over to the eggs.
Herbed eggs. Scrambled eggs.
So we're just going to add that in here.
Okay, so this is a teaspoon, yeah?
Yes, that's a teaspoon.
Of chives.
Chives, parsley, garlic.
Parsley and dill.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes, you do. Yay.
But what other alternative herbs can you work with if you can't find this, herbs in here?
These are very common. They're everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere. So if you can't work with this, then you can just do with vegetables, really.
Okay.
If that's your thing. Bell peppers, onions, tomatoes. So now so here's the trick for this one. So while it's blooming, we're going to add a bit of milk.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to leave our herbs in here to bloom.
Right. So we're going to add.
So bloom.
So you have dried herbs, let's say dried seasonings.
Yeah.
So when you add, the process of adding anything liquid will now bring out their flavor. So it kind of wicks them up.
Oh, okay. So you could add vinegar, you could add lemon
vinegar,
juice?
please. No lemon juice. No.
You said liquid. So
when I'm saying,
my imaginations are running wild here.
So your eggs are liquid.
Yeah.
That's one. So I'm just saying with anything that you're working with. So even if it's not for the eggs, you're doing it with something like chicken.
Okay.
You could do so instead of lemon juice, you could do oranges.
Oh, okay. So that works.
Yeah.
That works.
So just adding a little milk to it to help it bloom, and also it helps with your eggs as well.
Okay.
So
I see that you already added a seasoning cube.
A bouillon cube, yes. It's called a bouillon. Yeah. So we're just going to leave this here and we're just going to mix it down.
Okay.
And then just leave it to
bloom.
Yeah. Yes.
Learned something today, guys. It's one of the reasons why you should tune in to Wake Up Nigeria. Because when we have, executive chefs like Nyla, you get to learn what's like bloom and what it means and what it, the kind of reaction that happens
chemical
when,
reactions
in
with
your
food. Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay, so let's move on to our pancakes so that people have an idea of what it should look like,
Okay,
when
so
it's ready.
right, so
Like
right over
straight
there.
on the pan, yeah.
So this is good to go. So we're gonna do the first one as a test.
Okay, yeah. They say the first pancake is always the worst.
Not really. But yeah, so
Okay.
that's what you use to test if you have, you can taste the batter, but because it has raw eggs, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that.
Okay. Okay, well, so much fun is happening here in the kitchen, but we have to move over for some health discussion with Dr. Lawson and Yomi. Hello, guys. What's going on? Okay, so while that, they're still prepping, getting their knees checked just to be sure that, there are no pains anywhere. Just kidding, actually. All right, so let's see how our first pancake turns out.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Fingers crossed,
Fingers
people.
crossed.
The first pancake never sees the D.
Yes.
Because I eat it immediately.
You do that?
Yeah.
Oh, you're one of those. So here's what we're gonna do. So I greased the pan a bit.
Okay.
So that it doesn't stick.
So just with a little bit of vegetable oil.
Yes, and then we'll just put
pour
it
that
in the middle.
All
so when you put it
right.
in the middle, it forms that circle on its own.
And then it rises with the
It
baking
will. So
soda.
let's see, and let's hope it works.
Well, it better work.
It better work. Yeah.
All right, so now Yomi and Dr. Lawson are ready for us. Hello, guys.
All right, I'm not sure how much time we have because we've got very little time, Doc. So we're going to be talking about pains in the knees, or knee pain. Just let's take this very quickly. What are the causes of knee pain? Lots of people who have different knee pains, and sometimes people usually say, oh, it's old people, but there's some young people that also have knee pain. So what are the causes, and what are the things that people should be looking out for?
Yeah, good morning. Knee pain is a very, very common problem, and a lot of causes of knee pain not necessarily have to be disease conditions. You'll be surprised that things such as lack of use, that's inactivity, lack of exercise.
Right.
Heavy physical activity. You go for a lot of shopping, you don't exercise properly.
Yeah. Even driving, I heard that driving can,
Yeah, if you're not in shape, weight.
Weight can cause knee pain.
Exactly.
Wow.
If you overweight or you suddenly increase your weight. Trauma, and then especially in kids, we have what we call overuse injuries. So kids that are adolescents, that have not yet attained skeletal maturity, can actually get knee pains from playing football too much, running, jumping. If you engage in high intensity activities, the older you get, the more likely you're going to have knee pains. Things like squash, lawn tennis sometimes can predispose you to that. Of course, at the other end of the spectrum is disease conditions like arthritis, people that have had fractures or an infection around the knee can also cause you pain.
Yeah, so of course, each of these things have to be diagnosed by a medical practitioner to be able to tell you that, look, this is what this is the condition that you have.
The way to look at it is more often than not, it's usually trivial things. You play, you come back, or maybe after a busy day, you have knee pains. So take something for the pain, paracetamol, bandage it, ice it. If there's any swelling, you can ice it. The things to look out for: fever, persistent pain, or if you had significant injury, maybe you were involved in an accident or you fell off something, then you should get a doctor to look at it because you might need x-rays or further imaging for you to be able to say it's not, for you to actually characterize what the problem is. Yeah.
So I've heard that some conditions, especially when the pain is significant in some areas, all you need to do is rest the leg.
Yeah.
So is that something that you would recommend? And in what conditions would you recommend that?
Okay, you go to Dumota Market and you spend the whole day there. You've not really done a lot of walking in a long time. You come back, your knees hurt. You should rest it.
Right.
You probably miss your step when you're on your heels. You should rest it. But once there's swelling, once there's fever, you take something for pain, it persists, get it looked at.
Right, right. Okay, so so when we're looking at long term, especially with people who maybe have been diagnosed with a particular disease, are there specific things that one should then look out for and to be doing, or are there lifestyle changes that for you to be able to maintain your knees for those who have long term conditions?
Okay, the way to think about it is there are general protective things you should do for your knee. One of them is control and watch your weight.
Okay? Watch your weight, very important.
Watch your weight. Secondly, be active, exercise. The older you get, and it's something as basic as swimming, going for walking, cycling. You don't necessarily need to hit the gym to be able to be fit.
Right, right.
So you need some level of physical activity to keep your knees going, okay? And then at the same time, avoid situations that can, so if you're going to go running, proper shoes, even surface, you know, don't overdo it.
Right, right, right. Because some people feel that, you know, the more intensity, the better.
A lack of activity is as bad as overdoing it. You don't need nothing. You don't need anything more than 45 minutes.
Right, right.
So by the time you say you're doing 1-2 hours, it's a bit of overdoing it.
Okay, so lifestyle, just, you know, make sure that you have a balanced lifestyle.
Exactly.
Don't be too overweight. Don't gain weight suddenly because you have some money. You know, it's really, really important.
Because your knees and hips take your weight.
Right.
So the more work the body's going to do, the heavier you are. So reduce your weight, then it becomes more manageable.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Lawson, for joining us. We were going to do some exercises actually, but we didn't have any more time. But yeah, it's the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a lot more for you on Wake Up Nigeria today. Well, hello again. The show is still your #1 breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. We love spending time with you, and that's why we spend 3 whole hours every single morning doing just that. My name is Titilayo Onisan.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook. Check us out at TVC Connect.
Yes,
send in comments using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, so the TVC app is available for download right now on both Android and iOS. Yummy! Why? Why did you transfer this to me?
I didn't transfer anything to you.
iOS stores.
iOS.
Yes.
Yeah, iOS stores. They should have given me that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's fine.
Download the app, please. Just a beg, so we don't have to say it all the time. Please just have it in your phone so you can watch us anywhere in the world.
All right, so still to come on the show this morning, will be joined by Tenny Oluwo, who is the CEO of Style Territory.
Yes, sir.
And she's going to be talking about fashion highlights from the Met Gala.
Very fashionable event, if you ask me. And we'll be bringing you some music from Shawty B, performing Rambo.
Great. All right. Yeah. So, follow up to our discussion on purposeful questions you should ask in a relationship.
Oh.
Yeah. So I saw this just on Twitter. Some guy is, telling a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said he's 28, and his girlfriend asked him recently what plans he had towards marriage, what's just basically marriage plans and stuff. And guy is like, marriage plans. I don't have any marriage plans, so.
Wow. Okay.
Babe comes next day, takes the fan she bought him, takes the GOAT TV.
Okay.
And then everyone, so basically comments are like, man, babe is a sure babe. Like she knows what she wants. Yeah. And she's like, I'm not going to invest in this relationship if there is no future in it. So, but
I'm just like, so putting your heart out there means doing a lot for this person you're calling your partner. You put everything into that relationship.
So are you saying what she did was wrong?
So I'm not saying that what she did was wrong, but that conversation, we don't know how far that conversation actually went and how much time she even gave this guy to think about the answer he was going to give.
He says he's not ready. I don't understand.
When he said he hasn't thought about it, But
he said he's not ready. He's 28.
Yeah, but
like he's not ready.
At
He's
that
not
point,
ready.
he hasn't thought about it. Now you've given him something to think about, right? I would have waited a bit. So you put your cards on the table. You've said, you know what, this is what I'm thinking about. Give him like 3-4 days now before you go and collect your fine.
4 days to think about if he wants to get married or not.
See, if she had waited 6 months or 2 years
exactly,
or whatever,
it won't change anything.
It still doesn't change the fact that she should not have taken the things she gave him. As far as I'm concerned, that was where my problem was.
So
if you give someone something in a
let it go.
relationship or as your friend or whatever, my belief is you don't take it back.
You let it go.
The only thing you should take back when leaving a relationship is your heart.
Yeah.
That's my personal belief.
Well, in a situation where, like I said, speaking up on where we left off earlier is what's the purpose for what you're trying to do? Whatever it is, there has to be a purpose in it. So if there's no purpose on both sides and the guy said he's not ready, it's time to move on.
If she said she was carrying all her things, what would you do?
She wants to carry it. She should carry it now.
Yeah,
but it's wrong.
So I feel it can be a little. The word I would think of now. Sorry, dear, for doing this, but it is childish. It's not mature.
Very childish.
It's not mature of you to go and take your.
You take your. What if
As
she?
a mature lady,
No,
waiting
it's
to
not
read the news.
mature.
Exactly.
I am saying fan and decoder. There are other things that I would go and take back, but I'm saying for those particular items.
Let's hear what Sarah thinks about it.
Sarah has money. Sarah has money. She doesn't need to take back her fans and stuff.
But I think you should not take it back. You gave those stuff to a friend.
Yeah.
Even if you're not dating the person is your friend.
No, don't take it. Especially those items.
Thanks, Sarah.
Go and take back the boxers.
Thank you, Sarah Jare.
Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria. So from fascinating pieces to show-stopping outfits, we always expect some seriously over-the-top fashion at the 2019 Met Gala. This year's theme was Camp, Notes on Fashion. Camp is stepping outside the box, and most of the stars and stylists behind these looks took notes from Susan Sontag's 1964 essay, which defines camp as love of the unnatural. And joining us, of course, me this morning, to review some of the captivating looks is the creative director, Style Territory, Tenny Olowu. Hi, baby girl. How you doing?
I'm really good, thank you.
All right, so let's just get straight to it.
I know.
Yeah, so
I've been waiting so impatiently.
Right. I mean, this happened 2 days ago. We're all, anticipating some of the looks, and let's look at Cardi B.
Oh my days.
What do you think about Cardi B's outfit?
First of all, I'm gonna go straight to her stylist, Colin Carter, because he's amazing. He's a genius. And that outfit was really well thought out. And she had like $250,000 worth of rubies, like each. So that's like $500,000.
Wow.
The outfit is by, I think, Tom Brown. And that train, like it had like 30,000 feathers, like 30 people worked in it for 2,000 hours. That is madness.
Wow.
And that is camp, because it was amazing. The statement was great, as in she was present.
I'm loving the outfit. I'm loving the Blood and Mary presence. I love every bit of it. Let's quickly move on to Celine Dion. I have never seen Celine Dion in that. I mean, I was wild. I was like, is that her?
That's how you do it. Like, as a legend, that's how you do it. She was wearing Oscar de la Renta, and like, I was stunned. I was speechless. Celine Dion is a style icon. Like, that's how you do it. What do I want to say about Celine? She's amazing.
All right. So one of my favorite looks, Janelle Monáe. I mean, the colors, the aesthetics. I mean, you can see every bit of, you can see that a lot of creativity went into that.
You know, the funny thing, a lot of people feel like when you have like a permanent theme, like it restricts you. You know, she's like the whole monochrome thing, white and black thing. But for Janelle Monáe, she's so creative with it. That look was by Christian Siriano. And it was so amazing. The paint is a reference from Picasso. Picasso.
I'm loving
like
it.
the 1900s and everything.
Beautiful.
And did you see the eyelash thing?
Yes, I saw that.
And
that
was
so
moving.
beautiful. Yeah, it was moving.
It's so amazing because the dress is futuristic and it's historical as well.
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Love
and the hats, my God.
Yeah,
really
I mean, that's a John
amazing.
Monet. She just had to bring it that in.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly see one of the horrific, but I actually really liked this look. Jared Leto, my world. That head actually took 6 months.
Yeah. I liked it.
Create that head of his.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like Jared Leto and Gucci, they're like a match made in fashion
right?
heaven.
Yeah.
Yes. And the whole look, it was mad. It was bizarre, but I loved it.
It was horrifying. But I loved the efforts that went
I loved
into
it
it.
as well.
Really
I
nice.
loved it.
Quickly, let us see Kerry Washington. I was very disappointed. It looked like she just took her husband's singlets.
The top was ill-fitted.
We're just going to just pair this up with this, and
I'm still so disappointed because Kerry is such a fashion icon.
Yes.
Fine, the whole negativity is noise thing, the whole statement and message, fine. But that top, like, it was ill-fitted. It didn't work for me. Tory Burch, like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, no.
Yeah, but we know that Tory Burch is actually one of those fashion-forward designers in the industry. But that look...
It looked like a very last-minute
thing, right?
Yeah.
It did.
It
Not
didn't
liking
work.
that at all.
Nah.
Let's talk about Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga had 4 different outfits.
For
this
She came back.
4 different outfits.
Like, she is back. That is how you come back. You know, she's been doing like the whole girly, normal vibe and everything. But Lady Gaga would always be Lady Gaga. Like, she is the mother of wow factors, you know. And how do you change 4 times in 15 minutes? And all the outfits were phenomenal.
Effortless.
Like, they were mad.
Yeah,
they were really, really nice.
I loved everything.
Brandon Maxwell, I think.
Oh,
yeah, they were really, really nice.
I mean, look at that outfit, that particular one. 4 people actually had to carry her up. Like, lift her up. Like,
fashion is not a joke. It's not a joke to make a statement.
And we are so thankful to Met Gala, you know, for, you know, giving designers opportunities to actually really push themselves. Let's look at the Kardashian sisters quickly.
Okay, who do we start with?
Who do we start with? Right. Okay, look at them, Tenny. Tell me. Who wowed you?
For me, okay, let me start with Kendall. You know why? Because she's very tomboyish, quite laid back sometimes, you know, but this Versace outfit was like beyond, like over and beyond. The feathers, the statement, everything worked for me.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I don't know what Kylie was thinking. Maybe because she dresses up like all the time, this was like so normal for Kylie.
Very normal, exactly.
So it didn't do anything for me. But for Kim, goddess Kim, like that's a Mongolay dress, and he hasn't designed anything in 20 years. So he came out for Kim. Like, that is like how you do it. That is like a really boss move.
Okay.
And she's like a goddess walking out of water. Like, the things on the dress are meant to be like raindrops or water drops or
I actually
whatnot.
really,
And
well,
that
she's my favorite
body,
actually. She's my favorite. I mean,
that body.
I can imagine the corset work that actually went into cinching her waist in. Yeah. So let's quickly look at Katy Perry.
Moschino.
Okay, yeah, so she was actually in 2 different looks. She was one with a donut, like a burger kind of outfit. I didn't like that at all. It was ridiculous.
I didn't like that.
But what do you think about this one?
I think
Jeremy
Scott, Jeremy Scott designed this like on the Moschino, and for the theme, it worked. It's very costumey to me, though. Okay. It's more costumey than style, you know. But that's Katy Perry. That's what she does like all the time. Yeah, the whole Beauty and the Beast thing or whatnot. It kind of worked for the event.
Okay, well, I'm indifferent about this look.
I'm indifferent as well.
So let's see Lupita Nyong'o. This is one of your favorite looks for the night. Yeah.
I feel like Lupita is a style queen. She's always been. I think she would always be. That is how you do it. Like, that is how you do it. Everything is just insane, so gorgeous. And the colors, the makeup, the hair. I heard that it was like a reference to Marie Antoinette. like the whole power thing, but she made it hers, you know. She made it very African,
Well, for me,
very
this look
high
actually
fashion.
was more like recreating her character in her latest movie, Us.
Us, oh.
Yes, so I think that her makeup was too horrid. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah, very creepy.
But that's high
It was,
fashion.
yeah, I know.
That's
but,
calm.
Oh well, thank you so much,
You're
Tenny,
welcome.
for joining us. Joining me this
welcome. I
morning
loved
for
it.
us to review the looks at the Met Gala. I like the fact that a lot of fashion designers are, putting so much work. I mean, it's just a one-night event.
I know.
And then look at
all
so
the
much work that
effort.
goes into
Yeah,
it.
and creativity.
Yeah,
really,
really
really
nice, really nice.
Really nice.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Tenny.
for having me.
Hope you come
Thank
back.
you.
Hope you
I
come
will.
back.
I will.
All right, so that's it for fashion. Today, let's head to Mary and Should It Be for a musical performance. Hello, guys.
Thank you very much, Yes, I have with me Should It Be. How you doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Well, he's formerly known as Moshood Adenekon. He's an Afro house artist who's here to perform his first official single, Rambo. This is the very first song you've ever recorded.
No, not ever recorded, but this is the very first single I'm going to
put out.
Yeah.
That's more or less like it, because nobody ever
Yeah.
takes it that you've done any other song before until what everybody can hear. So I'll take it that this is the very first, because you told me earlier that you've done more freestyles
and covers.
and covers. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is like the very first
The
song of
single.
yours that
Yeah.
you would ever record and put
Yes.
out as a single.
Yes.
Well done. Okay, so I'm going to let you perform Rambo now.
Yes, Rambo.
Afro House reminds me of Niniola.
Niniola, yes, she's...
Oh, so that kind of sound, right?
Yes, something like
Ah, I'm looking forward to hearing this one. Take it away.
It's range on.
Welcome to the kitchen.
I'm not sure why.
We just had a lot
why
of
you had to-
amazing music on Wake Up Nigeria this morning. I'm so excited.
Mike isn't around, so
All right,
Somebody
so
has
here in
to
the
do it,
kitchen,
right?
of course,
Somebody has to
making
do
her
it.
debut is Chef Nyla.
Great.
And this
Welcome.
morning, guys, guess what she made? She made English breakfast, even though she says American, but when I
Yeah.
say it's English.
No, this is American. This is very
So yeah,
American.
Thank you.
So this
So-
morning we're having buttermilk pancakes, herb scrambled eggs, and sausages.
Okay, so Nyla, just help me with this thing.
What?
I want the
helping
camera to
yourself
see.
earlier.
No,
So
but I
Nyla-
want the
It's
camera
best
to
you run
see
it
how. Okay, over there.
Okay, so please come in before we
always
get to
lovely.
this. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt
Right.
what's
Let me
going
just-
on here.
Yeah.
But Nyla, please, how did we come about these pancakes? So the people who are just joining us have an idea. Yeah.
Love it, love it.
So basically, we made them.
Nyla
Can you
is
see
even
it? Can the
gauging.
camera see it?
They did.
Oh, they were catching it. Okay, so let me do it again.
Oh, yummy.
Go ahead, Nyla, please.
We made the pancakes using flour, oil, baking soda, baking powder,
Vegetable oil.
vegetable oil,
So that people don't
eggs.
think it's palm oil.
No, please. Well, that's a new one. I could try that one actually. And flavorings,
Yeah.
vanilla and a pinch of nutmeg. And so Yomi will tell us.
Oh yeah. So you said you had some.
Into,
You said you added some nutmeg in there, right?
yeah, there's a bit of nutmeg, there's
And
a bit
what
of
else?
vanilla.
Yeah.
Let me know what else you can taste. Let's
I'm
see.
a pancake connoisseur, as you can see.
So let's
so
see if he
I'm just
can.
gonna.
And then when he's done tasting the pancakes, move over to the eggs.
To the eggs,
yeah.
right.
So I don't think Yomi should
Well,
taste both pancakes
And eggs. I disagree.
sausages.
Titi, what would you like to try?
I'm very partial to sausage.
Let me help
Okay,
you
so
with
let's
that.
get a cutlery. Let's get a cutlery
Okay.
for you, Titi. So
So
that
the
we could just
pancakes.
dash
Okay,
out,
so yeah,
dish out.
I'm very hands-on.
I know.
Would you guys hang on? Let the
Yeah.
connoisseur speak.
Yes, the floor is yours.
So I'm detecting a taste, a little bit of vanilla in there.
Right.
Yeah. So I found
He
that
was listeing to you while you were
the
preparing.
at the tip of my tongue, I could taste the vanilla.
That's interesting because the
Then-
tip of your tongue actually tastes salt. We'll continue.
Oh, okay. Somewhere on my tongue, there was vanilla. Somewhere in
Right,
there.
so
And then a little bit of.
taste vanilla, you smell it.
Okay, well, yeah. So and then
Titi, the eggs are waiting for
Pancake
you.
connoisseur.
the nutmeg as well.
Right.
I tasted that.
All right.
Well, I smelled that. I don't know. Whatever.
So just
Anyway,
add
so
this
yeah,
dish out
it
of
was
it,
in there and
yeah.
it was nice.
So let's try the eggs, shall we?
And then she'll tell us how she made the eggs.
So,
Tell us about you.
Not bad at all.
Okay. So Nyla, how did you Make
Tip
the
of the
eggs.
tongue for
What
salt, yeah.
What are the ingredients that went into our scrambled eggs?
So we had eggs, we had milk, we had chives, we had parsley, garlic. Yeah, chives.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I can taste the garlic.
Right.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
else?
I can taste the milk.
What of the oniony
No,
flavor?
the onion is not overpowering.
Very subtle, yes.
It's
That's
not
the
overpowering,
chives.
no.
Because there's really no onions in it.
Nice. Okay.
So-
All right. Sure. Fantastic. I would eat this.
All right.
So
So let's talk about the sausages.
Just adjust your
work doesn't go into making
The
sausages.
fry
Like
the
just toss it
sausages.
into the pan.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
And you singe it to whatever you want it. Some people like it medium, some people like it
crusty.
Exactly.
So Nyla, how do I find you on Instagram? Where do I locate you to?
Chef Nyla.
Chef
Oh, Chef Nyla.
Nyla.
Yes.
Okay.
On Instagram.
And we need to also let people know that we didn't add any bit of water at all in our
pancakes. It was straight
They're
milk.
Just milk.
Okay, just milk.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Just milk.
Okay.
No
That's not
drop
bad.
of water went into it.
That's
just
great.
milk.
So it helps to enhance the flavor.
Thing you put on it?
That's just pancake syrup.
Just
Pancake
the one
syrup.
you buy in the store. You didn't
Store
make
bought.
this.
But you
No.
know, I really actually do not like pancake syrups. They
And-
are usually overpowering when you use them.
Really? So what do you use?
I use honey.
I don't use
I
it.
like
use
honey as
honey.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like
honey is a
on my
good one.
pancakes.
Or
So I used baked beans. Yes.
that's why she keeps saying
Yeah.
English breakfast
Yeah,
because
because I always
Right,
so
right,
mine
right.
always had, you know, go along
Okay.
So
with
the
baked
thing,
beans.
the thing with the so one thing that you told me earlier was why it's so fluffy is because of the baking powder.
the baking powder and the baking soda, they kind of work together. It's almost
Yeah.
like a cake.
Because every time I make pancakes, it's just flat and
Yeah.
tired.
The Nigerian pancake is flat now.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she
And
just
it's
give
an
me a
American
new
pancake.
And yeah, it's
Thank you.
important to always, you know, remind people that when you're making use of baking soda or powder, it has to be very little.
Yeah, it has to be very little. It's
How much is little? A teaspoon?
Like
a teaspoon to maybe like 2 cups of flour, right? So that way you don't.
Did you sieve the flour? No.
You sometimes you can if you want it to be extra fluffy. You can, so it incorporates air. You can also separate your eggs and then beat the whites separate from the yolk.
Long thing,
Exactly. So like people like me that really enjoy it and it's okay. You know what? I'm going to do something different today. So yeah. So we go ahead and do all of that. But yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
Nyla.
welcome.
I've seen that. You know, there's someone is gesturing to me right now. We have a guest that just entered the building. Oh dear me.
All right.
I'm not sure we have enough
Thank
time.
you so much, Nyla, and
Thank
to
you.
everyone who came on the
Nyla,
show.
you were
Thank
awesome.
you.
Nyla,
Very
thank
nice.
you. This looks really good. I can't wait to dig in.
And we have to start rounding off the show right now. Big thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories on the show. Wake Up Nigeria. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, a big shout out to our friend, our very good friend of the house, Fola, at Fola's Place.
Thank you, Fola. Thank you so much.
It's been a great show. And a big thank you to everybody who joined us today. And Chef Nyla for being
Thank you,
for being
Nyla.
great on the
Thank
show.
you.
And we're going to be back tomorrow for the Thursday edition of Wake Up
See ya
Nigeria.
tomorrow.
Stay
Same time.
tuned for your view